We're here today to celebrate my mom, Timotea, and to say goodbye to a beautiful soul. For those of you who doesn't know me, I'm Esther O'Connell, Timotea's youngest child of her 7 children from California. Thank you all for attending tonight, and for those who took the time near and far to travel to say goodbye to my mom. God bless you. My mom was born in Lahaina, Maui, and she migrated to the Philippines with her parents and her siblings. And later, she came to Honolulu to start a new beginning with my dad. She wanted to give us a better life. And with that, she opened many doors for us and opportunities. She lived a simple life, and she started us out living in Eva Beach, right on Fort Weaver Road. And I see many of you that were our neighbors back then. Thank you for coming. My mom was a person who had sacrificed many things in her life. She put herself behind everyone else. She left us in PI for a couple years before she could bring all her family here. She wanted to get established and get a place to live. I remember we lived in this one bedroom. It was a duplex, and we were like sardines in that one house right next to the park. And it was a 1 bedroom, and there was my dad, my mom, me, Lori, and Junior. And with that, she even took in one of my aunts that wanted to get established here in the US as well. Gave her a place to stay just so she could help. Tells you a lot about my mom. My mom only held one job, and that was working at Waikiki Surf. I think it was east or west, I'm not sure yet. But she worked there for at least 20 plus years. I remember her catching the bus at 4 a.m. She never drove. Driving wasn't her dish. She liked going around with the bus. It was just so much easier. She worked as a housekeeper. And I think most of you know how hard that would be. So thanks to my mom, she gave us opportunity to do better than that. When my mom retired over 20 years at Waikiki, she wanted to go to the Philippines and live a simpler life, but she cared too much to leave her family and her grandchildren. She loved every one of them very much, and she wanted to help my siblings raise them. Unfortunately, I didn't have that opportunity because I left to go to the mainland. She never complained. I mean, she fed the kids and watched them as long as she could, and when the kids didn't come, she would call my brother or sister to bring them over because she missed them. When my dad passed away 5 years ago, every time I came back, I just saw that she was lonely. She didn't have much more to do because she liked to keep busy. So the only thing that kept her going was going to the market. She likes going to the market. I mean, she would just walk to the market. And even when my sister would bid her to go, she would just go and sneak out, and we would be like they would be like looking for her and find her on the side of the road walking with her groceries. But as the years came by, like she was slower. Every time I saw her, she was getting weaker and weaker. But she always held a smiling face, never complained. She never complained. My mom, she just sacrificed everything to make her family happy. People used to come over and she'd feed them, send them on their way with gifts. So on May 25th, I got a text message from my sister saying that my mom was in the hospital. And when I saw her in January, when I came back for her birthday, I just knew that she didn't really remember me anymore. She kept calling me Priscilla, that's her niece. And the last thing I remember was that she said, when I tried to, feed her because she didn't want to eat anymore, she asked me, "How did you come here?" And I said, "Ma, I, flew here from the plane, And she goes, "You're so lucky." I said, "Why?" And she was like, "Because you're close to the heavens. I want to be there." So that really broke my heart. So with that said, it just shows you that she was tired. I also remembered at one time, she took in a homeless. We only had a 2-bedroom cottage at the time, and there was like 7 of us there, and we lived right next to my auntie Hermana, and she let this lady put her tent in between our house just so she could feel that she could help her and be safe. On her days off, Thursday, Friday, she would make sure that she had food to eat, and just making sure that she was safe. So she was very generous like that. So I'm standing here today, and it's very difficult. It was a too much stretch, and it's just so sad that I have to say goodbye to her. But I have to say is that, Mom, I have never missed anyone so much as I miss you. Your life was a blessing, and your memory's a treasure. I love you beyond words, and will always miss you